thanks for what you do with your podcast and all the rest. You're doing a great job. Hope everybody keeps tuning in. You get a lot of good info, a lot of insights, understandings of how to get strong, how to stay strong, how to use your strength.
You do a great job, dude. You make things better than they are in real life, I think.
If you don't follow Massenomics, y'all do it. Social media, website, everything.
Massenomics.
Welcome back, everyone, for episode 291 of the Massenomics podcast. Recorded live from western northeast South Dakota. My name is Tanner. Well, my name is Wayne.
My name is Tommy. Tommy.
Party on, Tommy.
Excellent.
We're not worthy. We're not worthy of our sponsor of the Texas Power Bar.
Buddy Caps.
For anyone that's just listening, this is our special Halloween episode. If you're watching, you know that. But if you're listening,
which means we went really over the top.
Yep.
A lot of people do deadlifts in costumes for Halloween. Not us.
That's right. The deadlifts that should be popping off this week.
It will be. Yeah, actually.
Or do you think that's over?
But no. Well, by the time this comes out, you hit the wave of it.
But I mean, do you think it's just over? People are over it.
There's still way too many people that are gonna get really pumped for that. So yeah, I think that's coming any day now.
Okay. Yeah. So we are dressed as Wayne and Garth for Halloween here.
Yeah. We
went all out, didn't we?
We went crazy.
Yeah.
Absolutely insane.
I was trying to think of I guess I already used like all the Wayne's World quotes that I had saved up in my head. Party on, excellent. We're not worthy.
Swing.
Oh yeah, swing.
There was one of my favorites is I forgot how it actually goes for sure, but it's something on the lines of like, yes, that's right. Actually, it's Milwaukee. It's Algonquin for the good land. I was not aware. This guy knows how to party when they're talking to Alice Cooper.
It's funny. Anchorman kind of stole that bit.
Really?
Saint Diego.
Kind of,
it's what did he say? It's
Spanish for a whale's vagina.
Right. That is that bit, right?
Basically.
Were we talking? Was that on the podcast that I was talking about the movie where Robert Downey Jr. and the guy from.
Well, was that on the podcast or was that when we were eating that night?
Pretty sure that's when we were eating, so we should talk about it.
Okay.
What's the movie with Robert Downey Jr. and the guy from...
Is it Dinner for Schmucks? Is that what
No, not that movie. It's where they travel across the United States. He's with the guy from The Hangover. The funny guy that has like the backpack with the baby.
Yeah, Zach Galifianakis. And we had this exact same conversation. We said it all like this. Yeah. And we said Dinner for Schmucks. And read the ad, Tanner. I'll find it for you.
Okay. This episode is brought to you by Texas Power Bars. Buddy Caps first started lifting weights in the late 60s and began powerlifting in the mid 70s. At that time, he was working for Image Barbell, building gym equipment. Around 1976, a local machine shop started making Olympic bars for them and calling it the Image Barbell. In 1977, Image Barbell became Champion Barbell. It was then that Buddy started looking at the bars with an intent of changing them for the better. In 1979, Buddy bought his first lathe to begin addressing the known issues. In 1980, his passion, drive, and purpose now had a greater mission. Swing! Buddy set out on his own to make what he believed was the greatest bar he had ever seen and trained with, and the Texas Power Bar was born. It was strong as a house, with the best Erling, and it was maintenance-free. Hundreds of state, national, international, and world powerlifting records have been and continue to be set and broken on the Texas Power Bar. To learn more about Texas Power Bars and buy one of their legendary bars, visit them at texaspowers.com.
All right, Tanner. So I looked it up. The Discord also told us due date.
Due date. That's the movie. Due date is trains, planes, and automobiles.
Or is it planes, trains, and automobiles?
Whatever that is the...
And so we did mention I had not seen that movie. Actually, I've never seen all of either one of those before, so I can't say for sure, but you did seem to think those were like the exact movies.
It's Steve Martin and who's John Candy? John Candy are in, and Steve Martin is the straight-laced Robert Downey Jr. character, and John Candy is the Zach
Galifianakis.
And they do the exact same shit. Like they go driving and one of them falls asleep and like they crash all over the place and then they run out of money, but the goofy guy kind of actually tricked the straight-laced guy and like actually had his money, and it's all, I mean, it is the same movie.
I wonder if they actually like admit to that or own up to that.
I don't know. I'm curious if anyone else is familiar with this concept, but cannot be the first person to have
I don't
recognized this, but
I don't think
it
so.
is the same movie. I just needed to make sure that I got that out there. That was burning. That was a bee in my bonnet.
Well, I'm glad you did that.
Yeah.
Tanner, we actually do have a lot to cover today. I'm looking at the list right now.
More than just that movie comparison thing I wanted
More
to
than
talk
just
about?
that single movie comparison.
Okay.
We actually do have quite a bit to cover today. And first, we're going to start with a little bit of follow-up. I've been getting ridiculed because I have not provided my Big D hair follow-up.
Ah, yeah.
And I can say I have not used it. I have not used the shampoo and conditioner enough times because it got stuck in my basement. I actually just used it today for the first time, the shampoo and conditioner.
Yeah.
And I feel like shampoo and conditioner maybe takes a couple times to really work through the system.
Yep.
I was impressed. I thought it was nice, but what really blew me away was the curl relaxer. Big D.
So what do you do with that?
I'm assuming I accidentally lost the card too. So I'm assuming I did this in the right order.
Okay.
I'm assuming you're supposed to use the shampoo and the conditioner in the shower and then the curl relaxer after you come out of the shower. Hopefully I'm not wrong on that.
So did it feel like it relaxed your curls?
But it really, at the end, made my hair quite soft and nice. I put just a tiny little bit in, and I was very impressed with that.
A little bit goes a long ways with the curl relaxers.
It really does. You know, with a lot of things in life, a little bit does go a long way.
I must have used too much curl relaxer. My curls just relaxed
So,
all the way
and we
out.
also have to mention here, while we're on the topic of hair, that people not watching don't know what's going on, but Tanner's face is drastically different today, and it's not because he's wearing a hat either.
Yeah. Don't buy our hats also, as long as we're talking hats. But yeah, I got in a fight with a razor and I lost.
You definitely, you got your ears lowered, right?
I got my face ears lowered. I lowered my face ears all the way off.
And you said this is the first time that you haven't had any facial hair in
probably 4 years.
Really?
Yeah, where I haven't had a beard.
And when you said that, we were at the gym and you were saying that earlier today. I thought you were going to say like a year, maybe.
No.
Like in my mind, you've just been clean shaven until a year ago.
No, probably. Well, because my daughter, that's 3.5, she is still, like a day and a half later, she's still a little bit like perplexed by the whole thing, or
By
like
the
a little
stranger
bit,
in the house.
a little wary, or a little tentative at least about what it is who I am and why I replaced the man that used to
Why
live
are
in our
you
house.
here? What are you doing in my house?
Yeah. So I was doing a little trimming. It just got.
And that's how all disaster stories
I
start,
did a
right?
little trimming, and it got a little. I don't know if I got carried away, but I got a little farther than I would maybe want to, and I just said, you know what, we're just going. we're just taking it all. I was like, I'm just going to start fresh. I kind of was thinking, what is it? What does my face look like down there on the surface level, anyways? And now that I've seen it, I'm ready to grow the beard back.
See, it's really funny because I definitely have known you way longer without facial hair.
Right.
And for some reason, like when I saw you today, I thought, I don't even remember that guy.
Yes.
Like that guy doesn't even exist in my mind anymore.
And every once in a while, I'll forget, that like I shaved it.
Uh-huh.
And then,
You'll catch
and
a
then
glance of
I'll
yourself?
run into and then I'll see somebody that I haven't seen yet, and they'll have this just like look on their face, and I'm like, oh yeah, my face. It's my face.
Yep. Just my face that's startling you.
Yep. Yeah, it's just my face. It does look really weird though. Even just looking at it on the camera here, it looks really funny.
It's I keep looking at the screen and being like, what's going
Who
on
is that
here
guy
right now?
over there? Yeah, it looks weird. It looks really weird. And there's just something about that. No matter what, if you've had a beard for a long time and you make that change, it is just like a shockingly weird look.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. It's almost facial hair almost does it more than, I think facial hair does it more than
I think it
hair
does more than the hair on your head.
Yeah.
It also makes me feel like the hair on my head looks different now than when it did, like the whole, like it got like really long all of a sudden.
I actually thought to me, it's the opposite.
Okay.
Your hair seems shorter now than what I thought for some reason.
Yeah.
And maybe it's because all the beard in the front just made, there's a lot, your brain just goes, there's a lot of hair there.
Right. Yeah. It's definitely different though. It like makes the hair look different.
The
without
proportions
the beard.
are all off here.
Right.
Yeah,
it is all off now.
The equation's messed up.
Yeah. So the beard's going to come. It'll be a relatively slow process, but what is this episode? 291? I don't know. I'm hoping by like 295, you could say that I'm for sure a guy with a beard again.
That's a month in.
Yeah.
By 300, you should be
I'll be
a
back.
bearded guy again.
Yeah.
That's 2 months.
By the time we go to the Arnold,
Yeah.
my thing is, I'm wondering if I can go from like now into the Arnold without literally doing a single thing. Because that's when I have a beard. That my maintenance is what I do is nothing.
Yeah.
Like I just let wherever the hair grows, that's where it goes.
Oh, first of all, I can't even grow a beard, but if I did that, I'd have some major neck issues that
I get that too, but like then once the front of it gets long enough, then
at that point. But for me, it would take a while to get to that point. Yeah, there'd have to be some serious neck trimming between now and then. But
yeah,
wow. All right, so we got the hair thing covered.
Yep.
I think we're good on hair. What time we got? 10 minutes. Boy, Tanner, there's a lot of things here, and I don't even know what one to go with next.
Oh, what did you have? Like, what was there something on there? I can't even remember what we got.
Why don't you fill us in? This was a lifting related thing that you mentioned to me a couple weeks ago.
Oh gosh, I don't hardly know enough about what is it called? What is the title in there? It's like the deadlift jerk or whatever that is.
I just put bounce because you were explaining this to me, and I was not aware of this.
I think it was someone in a strongman competition that I don't know if he coined it as the deadlift jerk or if that was someone else was calling it that, where he picked the bar up. Like this was like a max attempt deadlift. He couldn't get it. I think he attempted it once, and then he picked it up like 4 inches off the ground, 5, 6 inches, 8, something like that, and then smashed it back down as hard as he could. Like didn't just drop it, but literally forcefully smashed it back down as hard as he could, and then it bounced back up, and he caught it on the rebound up, like higher than it was initially with, and then was able to get the deadlift. And in strongman, this isn't a powerlifting competition. It's able to be done, I suppose. I don't know that I've never seen anyone do that before, but so then it was kind of a meme sort of thing going around on the internet for a while, and people doing this deadlift jerk, and it worked for this guy. I think it was maybe even like a PR, or he was certainly able to get the weight that he couldn't get without doing this.
So first of all, would you say he's working smarter, not harder?
I guess that's working the system, but that's not working the system in a way that I would ever want to try. That's begging.
I'm pretty
for an injury.
Like of the mentality that also like, all right, yeah, the rules are made to be like you can play in the rules as long as you're in the rules, but that one does kind of feel like that's going against sort of the nature of the sport. I guess some people will say it's just moving weight from point A to point B. It doesn't matter, but that really feels like it's starting to get away from it, doesn't it?
I don't care. I mean, to me, it's also just like seems so much more dangerous, doesn't it, for injury?
Well, that, and also just the opportunities to just destroy stuff once you start talking heavy weights, right?
Yeah.
Someone starts just slamming down 800 pounds.
That's hard on plates, barbells, the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oof. Is that actually taking off, or is this just a one and done thing?
I think people were mostly joking around about it, but this guy was,
I don't know if that was like people were actually taking it to that point of being like, oh yeah, this is how we're going to get more weight now. But
no, I don't know that it's become a common thing at all. That I have seen, but no, but it was a silly thing. It was a silly goose thing for sure.
It's very silly.
Let's file that in our
the
silly goose folder.
We need to get the sound effect for that one.
It's a goose.
Yeah. Get our Canadian goose dog.
Yeah. Another one for the silly goose folder.
I'm going to read us an ad, Tanner.
Right.
This podcast episode is brought to you by The Strength Co. Grant Brogy was born in the late 80s, nearly 2 decades after Buddy Caps began lifting. In the late 90s, Grant's brother Jordan bought him the new Encyclopedia of Modern Bodybuilding by Arnold Schwarzenegger, and Grant's love for weightlifting began. In 2001, Grant joined the local YMCA and began training with weights. In 2009, Grant discovered the book Starting Strength, and in 2012, as lieutenant in the Marine Corps, he began teaching Marines this method. In 2017, Grant opened his first gym in Costa Mesa, California, and the Strength Co. was born. In 2020, during a major iron shortage, Grant sought to bring back quality manufacturing of Olympic barbell plates to America. His innovation, adaptation, and can-do attitude brought about the greatest plates made in decades. The plates were accurate, anti-fragile, and instantly became the go-to plates of hundreds of lifters at Massenomics Gym. you can check out the Strength Co plates online at thestrengthco.com. Thestrengthco.com.
Did you want to talk about a special Massenomics podcast review session?
Do we want to do that now? I don't know if we want to do that now or save that for the end.
Okay, we can save that for the end. What about an update on our Massenomics meme contest?
That's what. Okay, should we have a little beverage before we go there?
Yes, that's
Because I'm getting very thirsty.
That's the best idea I've heard yet.
Tanner, I'm gonna need you to suit up for this.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
That's almost out of reach. I might just have to do it old school.
Okay.
Might just have to kick it old school.
Okay. Well, close them up. Get that brim of that hat nice and low so you're not cheating. Here we go. This is what's in the can.
All right. I'm excited for it.
Let me get that the right direction for you, just like so.
All right.
I'm excited for this too.
Crisp, clean crack.
Wow. Okay. Wow.
That's good. We're not in the fruity.
Feels like this one kind of hits different.
This one hits different. I feel like this is a cream soda flavored sparkling water. That's my initial thought. I guess I got to stick with that. Cream soda flavored sparkling water.
That's what you're going with, huh?
Let me try one more. That's what I'm going to say.
Why don't you take a look? Why don't you take a look, Tanner? It is, in fact, a
birthday cake.
Cake
Ugly.
Flavored sparkling water.
Okay.
And once you said cream soda, I thought, yeah, that does taste like cream soda.
Yeah, it's similar to that, though, right?
It is pretty similar. I thought for sure birthday cake would be way more disgusting than this.
No, it's
not
good.
Not too bad, actually.
Another ugly.
Boy,
ugly
they're
is
they're the flavor innovators.
Yeah, ugly is winning me over on their sparkling waters. I'll tell you that.
This is I'm assuming these ones are the more limited runs when it has the can, like the label.
Oh, right.
Like stickered on the can.
Right.
That other one, the 16-ounce cherry Cokes that we had, cherry colas, those were like the actual can was printed. But this is like a sticker thing.
That's good. That's really good.
Yeah, I got to give the shout out to Big Alex at Kind of Fit, Kind of Fat for.
Did he send these?
Well, no, he sent me a picture. He said, "This will stump Tanner," and I thought, "Wow, that flavor makes no sense. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I got to get that." Now having it, not as crazy as I thought. Actually, pretty decent.
Don't you think it tastes similar to a cream soda?
It does, which is kind of weird, but I definitely get the birthday cake flavor too.
Yes. I'll give it a 4. Pretty good.
I'm for sure a 3.5. Can I go 4? I think I'm gonna stick. I'll go 4. I'll go 4 on this too.
Yeah.
Not bad. 4 JD Powers.
Yeah. Good.
That's how you know
stuff.
it's good.
Ugly is good. Ugly ain't so ugly, is it?
They know what they're doing over there.
They ain't so ugly after all. So we're going to review the, so I guess we are currently in the middle of the Massenomics meme contest.
We are in the heat of battle right now, you could say.
I guess we don't necessarily need to get into every meme that's been made because A, we're not going to podcast for 5 hours tonight. And B, we'll I suppose next week
that's what
we'll
next week's
recap
episode will be
and go over the winners and stuff. But it is worth mentioning that there's been a ton of memes being made. I would say like the sheer volume of them is staggering.
Yes. You just have to go to Instagram, go to #Massenomics meme, and just explore the tag because it goes on. It's like its own feed. It just goes on and on and on and on.
Grant texted me today even and said, "Man, there is there is so many." And that if you really want to see them all, that's the only way you can do it is by searching by the hashtag. But it's hard to even be like, okay, where did I leave off last time to make sure that
I know that is the challenge. It's just you gotta almost have to like everyone and just be like, oh, I haven't liked this one, so this must be new.
And some really good ones. There's
some really really good ones. Like I was laying on the couch and just repeatedly laughing out loud. And my wife goes, "Will you quit doing that?" And I'm like, "No, I can't. I can't stop. It's too funny. There's too much funny stuff in here."
It reminds me of the meme somebody made about when you told me about middle class fancy, and you're like, it's you over in
Like
the bed,
trying to sleep.
and then it's me over there like giggling about about middle class fancy, and that is kind of what it was like. I mean, you really weren't like trying to sleep that.
No,
like, it wasn't
no.
like you're like, but it was pretty accurate still.
But God, there's just a lot of good stuff in there, and you never know what direction these things are going to go when we do them.
Memes are like a box of chocolates.
They really are. But we've seen everything from Massenomics things, lifting things, some lifting apparel, Massenomics apparel things, to Tommy and Tanner things, to South Dakota things. So it's been a very diverse.
You know what's been lacking? I was trying to think of areas where things that I haven't seen people meme yet. That I
kind of giving the Discord people a little inside treat here.
Since they're listening live. And if you want to be able to listen live to a portion of the Massenomics podcast each week, all you have to do is go over to massenomics.com and
you say, you know what's been missing? Big Matt writes, leans forward.
What was I saying? In order to get on the Discord, all you have to do is become a supporting member. You can go over to our shop and do that. We've got a few different levels of supporting membership. Thankfully for you, all of those membership levels will get you into the Massenomics Discord, and you can be a part of the community there. And there's a discount code that goes along with that it can save you a little bit on one of your purchases there. So that's cool beans. But get on the Discord. But the topic
Should we turn the Discord off now, though?
before I reveal
keep this fair, we won't actually let no anyone.
And maybe this will spark you, and if you have any areas that you see that haven't been memed all that much yet. But I was thinking, I don't think this go round I've seen anything of Aberdeen Magazine. And I would really like to see Aberdeen Magazine and them being tagged in it. I would like to see them being tagged in the memes.
There was okay. I almost want to say this off air. Tanner, I'm going to turn our microphones down for 1 second, just because I don't want people to hear this. Because I don't know if this is in the Discord or if we talked about this. So I just have to. Everyone, bear with us for 1 second while I turn our microphones off. Okay. The idea I think was in the Discord. So but. Should I say that?
Yeah.
Someone had, and I laughed very hard at this. Someone had mentioned that the winning person should be able to get a submission as an ad into the Aberdeen Magazine.
Yeah.
And that made me laugh very, very hard because it's so stupid.
That does remind me, though, we announced the prizes. The official prizes got announced today. So the grand prize winner of the Massenomics meme contest will win a pair of very limited edition the Strength Co. 35-pound plates.
It's a pair. It's not one. It's a pair.
You're going to get a pair. Not going to elaborate much more on those 35-pound plates, but you know that you'll be getting a pair of Strength Co. 35-pound plates.
You'll be
what more?
Every home gym owner in America will be jealous of you.
Yes.
And what more could you want?
And then some of the runner-up prizes, you're going to have your choice of some of the Frankenstein Massenomics tees. You got where it's like half and half, a curl shirt and a raw power shirt, or the bench heavy, or the gym tee half and half, or the lift. Or there's some original Massenomics artwork that's out there. It was the cartoons by Skinny Idiot Studios.
I want to make it clear, Matt. It was mentioned as a joke that the ad would go into the. We're not saying we're doing that. I don't want anyone to think that's what we're doing.
Or
I guess
are we?
You can never say never, but I'm not. We're not saying that is a prize, but it would be very, very funny. So who knows?
Yeah. The last. So we're talking about the art, the Frankenstein shirts, and then there's one other thing I forgot to mention as a possible runner-up prize choice is us calling you for the Massenomics podcast and you reading the Texas Power Bars ad for the podcast.
Get to put your stamp on that little timeline.
That's a choice that you have out of the.
I would assume that's probably the choice that people that don't follow the podcast would want to do.
Yeah, can I call in and read that?
Okay, these things all have monetary value, but I'll go with the reading an ad on the podcast option.
Yeah. Okay. So that's kind of the prizes. Keep sending them in. We don't know exactly how many winners there's going to be. There's going to be the one grand prize winner that's going to win the very limited edition plates, the 35-pound strength co plates, and then a number of runners up that are going to have their choice. And if you're after one of the shirts, those are in certain sizes. You have to pick there. The artwork, it'll be first come, first serve, and then the calling for the Texas Power Bars. If we've got to do that over a few episodes, you'll just get on the list, and we'll call you so you can read the ad live on the podcast.
Yes. And the beauty of the contest really was that there was unlimited entries.
Yes.
And people love to take advantage of that unlimited entries because, the content goes for days. So,
it does.
Yeah, we should probably quit talking about that because we will talk about it very in depth next week. But I'm really looking forward. We're only on Wednesday. I'm really looking forward to what the rest of the week has in store for us on that thing, Tanner.
Would you like me to tell you about something else?
Or do we want to wait a couple minutes?
Yeah.
Are we going into, God, should we hint at the product that we have coming?
Yeah, we should talk about that just a little bit.
Just before we get carried away
here. We should
here.
mention that. We have a very, I don't know, what would you say about it? It's very,
revolutionary?
Yeah, revolutionary.
Never before seen.
Way outside
one of a kind.
The Massenomics box.
It's made out of steel.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Just like Superman.
It's not a man, though.
Super.
It's not a person.
Yeah.
But besides that, it is made out of steel.
Was Superman a man?
Is he human or is he dancer? But let's see. This will come out on the 1st of November-ish. And this new product of ours will be coming to market on November 4th, 2021.
Yep. It'll be released in all its glory.
And I'm excited for it.
I hope. I mean, it pops. I hope the drop pops.
I hope it does too. It's been, and this will be this product will be on its own. It's in a big drop. This drop is for the product.
Yep.
It's been many, many months in the making. Lots of R&D.
Yeah,
that's research and development for people that aren't up on the.
Oh, I needed to know.
Engineering
I wouldn't
terms.
know what we were talking about, so that's good. Yeah, we'll be able to talk about that more next week too, about what went into it. I think that there'll be some interesting discussion that we can have on that, and the ups and downs, the highs and lows, and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, be on the lookout for that this week. If you're listening to this, the week that comes out next week for anyone that's listening to this live, but November 4th, you said? Thursday, November 4th?
Thursday, November 4th. It's going down.
It's going down. You know what else is going down?
Oh, boy.
Hybrid nutrition is going down. If you really want a shredded physique that performs as well as it looks, then combining hybrid training and nutrition is the answer to your prayers for the iron gods. It's like having the best strength and nutrition coaches right here at your fingertips. You get a personalized roadmap to Shredsville and a dedicated coach by your side when you work with Hybrid Nutrition Coach. Excuse me. So if you're ready to get seriously strong and seriously shredded, join Team Hybrid today. Visit them at hybridperformancemethod.com. Follow them on all the social medias at Hybrid Performance Method. And make sure to use our discount code. It's MASS. That'll save you 5% off. Lifetime. Yeah, double cough.
Does the ad come with free coughs?
Just buying them more time, I guess, here in the ad. 5% off for the lifetime of that membership for the nutrition training, anything that Hybrid's got over there. Mass. Thank you, Hybrid.
Thank you, Hybrid. Oh man, get this guy a birthday cake flavored water. Now that we're on the subject. All right. Oh, we need your little dongle there.
Yeah, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
That's what she said, as the actor said to the bishop. Get that little dongle.
In case people were wondering, maybe that was before we started last week. We were complaining about our cords. We got new cords, so
yeah. So if you notice a
crystal clear audio, like you can hear the inside of Tanner's throat when he starts coughing, it's because the cords are all new.
Got that dadgum tickle in my throat. Well, should we get him on the horn? Someone made that in a meme because I always say get him on the horn.
Let's do it.
Yeah. We haven't mentioned who we're even getting on the horn, but it'll be a surprise for when he answers.
You know what? The Discord's still on. Have you hit call yet?
Oh, we better
say bye, Discord. They almost tricked us this week.
Yeah, sneaky bastards. Tried to get us again, didn't they?
They didn't get to find out who we had either.
No. No, that's true. Okay, I guess they got to wait.
Hello?
Big Spud, is that you?
Possibly. Who's calling me this late? I'm very old. I'm very, very old. Why are you calling me? What's going on?
It's of course Tanner and Tommy.
What's up, Spud?
What's happening, dudes? What's going on with you?
Not too much. We're excited to get you on the podcast, even if we had to keep you up a couple hours past your normal bedtime.
It's way past my bedtime, man. Yeah. I'm already in the bed. I've got one of those bed. I got my little sheet on. I got my bed's propped up, so I'm ready. Let's do it.
Perfect. Yeah, we're excited to get you on. Obviously, Spud Inc. has been a sponsor of the Massenomics podcast for a long time.
And a supporter even longer than that.
That's true. That's true. And
that is so very, very true. It's kind of scary.
Yeah. And we actually use a bunch of your products regularly in our gym, and we talk about it quite a bit. Back when the bow tie first came out, I remember we did something on that. Might have been the first Spud Inc. thing that we did, and I don't know. I think Donnie Thompson shared something like last week or something like that.
Was it 5 years?
Yeah, I don't know if it was 5 years that's been out. If that sounds right to you, Mark.
But that is very close.
Yeah. So we've got to go back and forth for quite a while, but excited to get you on the podcast now.
Yeah, no doubt, man. I appreciate you having me on. Been listening to it for a long time. Getting the usual. I like you guys. You're okay in my book.
Yeah. Well,
go ahead.
Well, we just want to ask that we've got several questions for you about the business and stuff like that. But I guess the first one would be like, if you could tell us even just some sort of the origin story or how it first came about, or what your first product was, or how the business first started.
Oh, wow. Well, back in let's see, way back in 1998.
Okay.
I think it was. I was training at Don's gym, which I later bought, and I was back there doing some shitty ass squats, some close stance stuff, and it was like 455 or something like that, and I'm sitting there doing a set, and I'm kind of like, you know what, trying not to puke, and doors open and hanging out, and he walks by and says, "Hey, you want to power lift?" And I was like, "Sure, why not?" So from then on out, we're powerlifting together, and back then it was a road where not a lot of people were traveling that road, and obviously it was way back yonder when the internet was just starting and all that.
Yep.
So started the seeds were being sown then. So as it went along, all I began to care about was powerlifting. So I bought a gym just so I could powerlift, just so I could practice all the things that I did, training wise, without making it that was my real job. So as we went along, the process, we got bigger and bigger and bigger, and there weren't really any products back then. So there's a couple things that we had in the gym: long ab strap, some of the sled stuff, all these things there, a couple of things here and there. And so, we were using those personally. And, like I said, as I went along, I bought the gym in 2002. And then about 2006, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna see about making these products. So I started making. I approached Dave Tate and said, Dave, what do you think about me making these products? He said, if you make them, I'll sell them. And so right then and there, I decided, to start the Spud Inc. line. And we had 5 or 6 products coming out of there. We had the belt squat belt, we had the sled strap, we had the upper body strap, the long ab strap and the short ab strap were really the beginnings because nobody had any kind of good shit back then at all. So 2006 was really the origin story of Spud Inc. making products. So.
And so have those products are the ones you made in 2006 for the ab strap, for the ab straps, are those still like the same pretty much construction that you do today?
Yeah, everything's pretty much exactly the same. Very little tweaking on it.
Yeah, just nailed it right off the bat.
Just just like me, real boring and easy. But as the evolution went along, we just all the products that we created, obviously, they're for a purpose, and
Yep.
they're very specific, and of course, I never wanted to put out anything unless it was something that was going to last somebody forever, and and they're going to be able to get full use out of it. I hate making products that just aren't quite right, or they're off just a little bit. We always strove to make great products that did exactly what they were supposed to do. And to be honest, when I started making them, I was like, damn, we make them so damn good. Eventually nobody's gonna be able to buy them because they already have them.
Right.
Nobody's gonna want any more because they made them so good. Right. I mean, I still have the original deadlift straps, because in 2006, everybody had I'm not gonna name any brands because they all get jacked up, but you could be in your mind. That might be a way to say it.
Uh-huh.
But everybody's straps were popping left and right, and we were the first ones to really put out good straps that just didn't break, didn't wear, and basically it's you're married to that strap, and you weren't ever going to break it or get rid of it. So it's like an old lady,
Yep. So when you said at the beginning, talk to Dave, and he said you make it, I'll sell it. At the beginning, were you selling through your own website, or were you mostly just selling it to other people that were selling it, or did you start kind of both at the same time?
I started both at the same time.
Okay.
Back then, I don't know if you ever remember Front Page.
No. Oh, like Microsoft Front Page? Is that?
Yeah, that was our first website.
Okay.
I talked to Susan. I was like, hey, we really need a website. I didn't know. She's like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
I was like, well, just make it happen. And then of course I walk away and go do some other shit. But it was that was always the deal. Okay, look, I need you to do this, this, and this, and I'm gonna go over here and sit down and train this person or whatever.
Yep.
So there's plenty of stories like that.
As far as the straps, then, were you? Do you have someone else manufacture them, or do you guys do that stuff? How does that process work?
Now we have a couple people that manufacture them. It's evolved into probably it's got 3 people making stuff for us now.
Okay.
So,
but
yeah, it was just very, very humble beginnings. You go get a few products made, you go pick it up, and of course everybody that works at these places, this is in the beginning. They're like, what the fuck are you guys doing?
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, just give me a box and let me get out of here, dude.
Like, did you think though in the beginning that like the strap material that you guys use, it's used in like everything? Did you think it would last as long as it did?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because it's just rock solid.
I'm sorry. You want a more complicated answer?
No, I didn't know if you were like, I don't know. We'll put this together. Who knows how long it'll last, or if you knew it would be like that durable.
Well, when we started getting the products made in the late, we got them made for ourselves. It was like 1998 and 1999. By the time we started making them, we still had all those products. And none of the stitching was giving. They would fade out a little bit because of the dye and the material.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, it's there was nothing breaking on, which led me to go, well, eventually everybody had, once you sell a few of them, everybody's gonna have one. They're never gonna need another thing. So
Yeah.
but that also led to back then we were always doing we were doing some strongman stuff. We were doing some powerlifting stuff. We did a whole bunch of different things. So there was always something where you would see something happen on TV or World's Strongest Man or something like that. And you go, oh, we can make a strap to do this, this, and this, and this. So there was always that, not just powerlifting sport, but all these other sports as well, football, basketball, baseball, all those things. So there were just so many sports that you would see somebody using something that was like, oh, we can make something a whole lot better than that. Typically we did.
So along those lines, talking about all the different products you guys do have, like if someone hasn't gone to Spud Inc., they should go to your website and really see, like, you guys have an impressive number of uses for straps. Like, I think it would blow most people's minds away that the number of ideas you guys have came up with to use straps for. It's really crazy. Like, do you ever think, like, we've thought of it all, there's nothing left to do, or is there still ideas out there?
Oh, there's many more ideas out there. And that was one of the key things about training is, and anybody who's trained with me will tell you, it's like, I hate doing the same shit over and over again. So, and you've got you got all your auxiliary work and all your extra volume shit you're doing, your back and your arms and all that shit. So, I just hated doing the same thing each workout. And, back then I was training a lot of people too. So, it was always just this giant experimental lab. So I was always doing something to myself or to the people training with me or to the clients I was training at the time. So that really, honestly, that was the best part of it, was that experimenting and, let me get a strap and let me see if I can do some back on the reverse hyper. Or, well, that's a cool idea. I could do some overhead triceps and French presses with a upper body strap, using the reverse hyper. So, and it wasn't limited just to the strap stuff. I mean, back then, every piece of equipment in my gym probably had 5 or 6 different uses. We used to have like a hammer leg extension. So what I make out of it, I started doing, JMs off the floor, or I do RDLs with the leg extension machine. So I was always experimenting with everything. And of course, you got all these straps around you, so you just throw a strap on there and see how something feels.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So it's just the constant experimentation with all these different things. And, it's really, like, you can make so many different exercises out of all these straps. It's just,
so out of everything you've made, then all these different products, is there any one that sticks out to you as like your favorite thing that you guys have ever come up with, or your favorite thing you guys sell?
oh, jeez, that's a hard one right there, dude. I mean, obviously we made like 12 different versions of the belt squat.
Right.
We just released the sweater vest, which is the front squat harness / belt squat combo. I love that one.
Okay.
So, that's one of my favorites. I always find myself just going to the basics a lot. I mean, I can't really say one's my absolute favorite.
Yep.
But I'm always trying to come up with something a little bit better.
No, that's cool. So are you the main guy coming up with products, or do you got other people that you bounce stuff off of a lot of, or does the buck stop with you usually, and that's where the stuff is coming from?
No, it was always a combination. Dale used to work for me. You guys remember Dale really well.
Yep.
He had a little girl and he moved to upstate. So, but it was always, he had a concept, I had a concept, somebody had a concept, and we would bounce all those things off each other. So it was never any one person. It was either a combination of people or an idea that got thrown out there and kind of formed itself. But now right now basically I'm doing all the creation process right now. So and that's reinvigorated me as far as making it fun again with all these different products I got coming out.
Have you ever
probably put out? Go ahead.
Have you ever had I'm sure you've come up with like probably thousands of ideas over the years, but have you ever had an idea that you thought was really good and then you kind of got into testing and messing with it and you're like, no, this is a terrible idea?
Oh shit, dude. No, there's probably for every one that comes out, there's probably 5 or 6 that are
Okay.
dozen bombs, and
Yeah.
you try it, and you're like, oh man, shit, the idea sounded awesome in your brain, and then the translation, it just never really quite felt right or worked out right. So yeah, I probably say there's at least 5 fails for every good one.
Okay. That's
So it's not just us, huh?
No, fuck no, dude. Look, if you ain't failing, you ain't trying hard enough. That's part of the process. The process, obviously, after that is, even with the fails, you end up, you never know where a fail's going to lead to as far as another product or something else.
Yep.
So there's always something to get out of something.
Right. The name of the company, Spud Inc., and obviously your nickname Spud. I assume it was your nickname, and that's where the company name came from. But where did that name come from originally? Why are you Spud?
Spud Webb.
Okay.
Really?
So when I was 12 years old, my father was in the service, and we ended up down here in Sumter and at Shaw Air Force Base. And when I first moved to the neighborhood, it was one of those neighborhoods where there was always some kind of sport going on. So you got wiffle ball, you got street ball, you got Nerf ball, you got obviously basketball, baseball. I mean, there was always some kind of sport going on. And I think at the time, the chiropractor on the corner, he had a basketball goal, and he never really said anything, but we never really asked. He just let us play basketball at his place, and we just kind of showed up at about 5 or 6 kids, or sometimes 10, be out there playing ball all day long. But obviously, I did not have the jumping skills of Spud Webb, but what I sure as fuck did was run around and foul the hell out of you, step on your feet. So I was an okay defensive guy, but that's really. Yeah, so they started calling me Spud Webb, and and after a while the Webb got dropped, and it was just Spud. So since I was about 12 years old, and my friend never thought that was never gonna stick, because that's just one of your nicknames you get growing up, and half the time you get it because you get it because you're drunk or drinking beers or something. Or so, so it's always the antics of Spud or whatever, but. I just, after that, I was like, after I got a little bit older, I was like, what are we going to call it? And since it was my nickname, I was like, well, fuck it. We'll just call it Spud Inc., man. It was unique. It was unique, and, there was nothing like it. So that's what happened.
Yeah, that's cool. That's a good.
I actually think in my high school, they used to call me Magnum Spud. So Webb got dropped. Webb got dropped, and Magnum Spud got added. And in my high school, you can see where I wrote Magnum Spud. And that's back, back when I had hair, and it was bleach blonde hair, and it had cowlicks like John Madden.
Okay. Yeah.
Literally that kind of wavy cowlick.
Yeah.
So, and that's back when you had the GQ haircut. It's the mullet now, but back then it was GQ, so you part it in the middle and you cut. Everything was cut, and you had long hair in the back. So
yeah.
But Magnum Spud, yes.
Well, that's a good story. You retail a lot of your stuff. You sell it on your site, but like we were talking, even with Elite FTS selling it there, you I guess wholesale to probably quite a few other companies, and you work with some pretty big companies. I'm guessing. Thinking about like,
would be right.
Well, yeah, I'm thinking about a company like I don't know. Are there any that you work with that are big enough that they're a pain in the ass to you ever sometimes? Like what about a company like Rogue Fitness, for example? That's the one. That's really the one.
Somehow I knew that was going to come out. Rogue's pretty easy to deal with.
Okay.
Obviously, they have their systems, and like everybody else, they have all their systems in place. And I don't really, obviously, I'm not going to badmouth anybody because they buy my shit.
Right.
But,
Right.
but the products sell themselves, and
Yep.
I don't really have any real issues with too many retailers. I mean, it's just minor stuff, and that's just part of business. And you're putting out that many products, and in that type of volume, you're just gonna have issues here and there, but nothing to. Rogue's easy to deal with.
Okay. I thought maybe you'd give us some dirt on him or something like that. We'd try and get something.
No, I can't do that. No, really, there's no dirt. They're easy to deal with it. I don't. Yeah, it's just business.
Yeah,
you're gonna have ups and downs and shit.
No, that makes sense.
Overall, I can't complain at all.
Okay. Spud, we do have this little game we like to play called Overrated, Underrated. We play it with every guest, and we prepared a special Spud set of topics for you. So it's just, we'll fire them off to you, and it's just your job to decide whether they're overrated or underrated, and you can elaborate on that as little as you want, but you just can't ride the line. You have to pick either overrated or underrated for each one.
Overrated or underrated?
Yep.
All right.
So
over under. Here we go.
If you're ready, we'll fire them over to you.
Okay.
All right. Overrated or underrated? Spuds McKenzie.
Oh, underrated.
And Spuds McKenzie, for anyone that doesn't know, is like the Budweiser dog, I think. And Marc,
it's about drinking, man. Shit.
Yeah, and
it's always underrated. You gotta have more drinking.
Yeah. I didn't know that was the name of the dog until Tanner told me right before this. That was news to me.
Well, do you remember? Are you old enough to remember any of the Spuds McKenzie ads or anything like that?
I think so.
Okay.
Yes, that was the primo high school party days, man.
Okay. Yep. So that's a little before both of our times, so we didn't actually get to experience.
Just a little bit. Yeah.
Okay.
Just a little bit.
All right. So next one, we kind of touched on this already, actually, but overrated or underrated? Spud Webb.
Oh man, underrated.
Got your nickname from the guy, right?
Right, goddamn right.
Can't be overrated.
He's not overrated.
Yeah.
That was the guy won the fucking dunk contest.
That's right. Yep.
He doesn't. The guy was 5'6" and dunking the shit out of a ball. I mean, come on.
It is pretty crazy to be that high.
Like with all the crazy stuff you can find on the internet nowadays, you can still go back and watch that, and it's pretty mind blowing still.
Yeah.
It's just amazing, that picture. He's up in the air dunking the ball, and you're like, holy crap.
Yeah, the distance from his feet to the ground, that's really crazy. It's like, what is going on here?
Pretty much his height.
It would hurt for me just to if I was up hanging on something and someone said, "All right, let go. You got to fall down from that far." I'd be like, "Are you kidding me?
No,
I'm gonna snap my knees.
No.
I won't recover from this.
I'm up in the air. No, leave me alone."
Yeah. Okay, so underrated on Spud Webb. Okay. Now we don't know exactly what your music tastes are here, but we've picked kind of an interesting one. So, overrated or underrated, the song "Yellow" by Coldplay?
Overrated.
That's probably a pretty good answer, I think.
Gross.
Yeah.
While we're on the subject, where did
no reference to the color of my shit either. Which I assume that's why you picked it, right?
Yeah. Where did the yellow come from for Spud?
There weren't any options back then, so you had yellow or orange. So, I mean, they you could
for
get
the material. You're saying that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So typically it would come in yellow or orange, and if you wanted something different, you'd have to order a truckload of it. And back then we were just getting started, and we didn't have the kind of money for it. So yellow it was, and it became the unique color for us as far as everybody recognizing us as well.
Well, even to this day, no one really goes with yellow. Like you guys still kind of have that spot carved out.
Yep, yellow and black.
Well, so what were people using this material for? Like the people you went to make this stuff, what were they using it for? What were some of the other industries they were using it for? Do you know that it was all yellow or all orange? Like what was it?
Mostly it's sling material. So they would use it to make slings for picking up things. So you're picking up picking up boats and yachts and hauling nuclear material is just another example. So that it was always that kind of rigging and sling material, and so and of course it had to be rated for thousands and thousands of pounds, which is also one of the unique selling points is nobody really makes a product like we do as far as how much it will hold.
Yeah.
And that's also reasons like, us puny humans can never break that kind of shit because it's just rated to do a bunch of things that, we can never surpass.
Right.
We can sure try.
Yeah. Haven't been able to do it.
And as you know, I've broken a lot of things and torn a lot of things. So it's not from lack of effort. Put it that way.
Your body's breaking before the straps, though.
Oh shit, yeah, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just need to make a bionic strap for everybody to use later on when everything is completely broken.
There we go. That's the next big thing.
Okay. Next one for overrated, underrated, and this is the last one, and the last one's kind of always the most important one. It's usually worth all the marbles.
I'm scared. Should I have a drum roll?
Yeah.
Do you have a drum roll for me?
Yes. Overrated or underrated potato chips?
Oh man, they're underrated.
Are you okay when it comes to potato chips? Are you the?
I just read that. Was that really the last question?
Yeah, that's the last one. The last one's usually the dumbest one.
Be shitting. Potato chips. Okay, Spud.
Yeah. It was either that or like russet potatoes.
Okay. When I was actually picking the name, I was actually doing searches, and I did think at one time there might have been some kind of name conflict because there's several Spud Incs, out there in the potato states,
Idaho and stuff, I suppose.
Yes, out there where they grow a lot of potatoes. But obviously there's no problems with that. But knock on wood, anyway.
They're not too worried about your corner you've carved out in the lifting community.
Yeah,
coming for their chips.
They sell a lot more potato chips, yes, than I ever will for straps.
What
they might use them to pick up some potatoes, but whatever.
What's your go-to potato chip flavor?
Oh shit, dude. I like the sea salt ones myself.
Ooh, sea salt is pretty good.
How about you, Tommy? Do you got a?
I mean, original's pretty tough to beat, just straight up. But I guess I do also like the sea salt or like the salt and vinegar are also pretty good too.
I'm not a big chip guy. If I was to go, my favorite's probably dill pickle.
Ooh, really?
Yeah, that's a wild card choice.
Wow.
Dill pickle chips.
Yeah. I guess that would be wild card.
Yeah.
I'd go a lot before I get to dill pickle. I wouldn't turn it down.
Obviously, there's a lot of damn flavors to choose from.
Yeah. Something
but
else.
Dill pickle I would not have went with. No,
that's the wild card choice. Something Tommy and I were talking about earlier too is you guys will have a lot of fun with some of the marketing videos or product videos that you guys make. Is that something that you've always enjoyed doing, or where does the inspiration for some of that stuff come from?
Typically, it's usually like, "Hey, the video guy's coming today. Do we have any ideas?" It's usually, most of the silly stuff is, this comes from my terrible brain. And then, usually what happens is it's a lot of improv.
Yeah.
So, once we get going, it's like, let's do this and this and this and this, and just make something silly and funny. You guys do that a lot too. I mean,
That's we
obviously
respect that a lot. It's
that's your stick. So,
yeah. It is. I imagine you felt this way before, but sometimes do you feel kind of dumb when you're trying to do, when you're on the camera, even whether you're trying to do something silly or serious or whatever it is, but like, you kind of have like, I'm such an idiot here, like, do you ever get that feeling?
All the time.
Yeah.
If you don't have that feeling, then you're not doing it right.
Yep.
So, but it's just fun, and usually the spontaneity. When we're filming the videos, I know I got it when the camera guy starts laughing.
You're like, it's not just us.
Because he's very straight up, and he's okay. He's a good guy, but he's just very straight and proper, and he's to catch him to relax in a moment and just laugh at something because it's so silly.
Yeah.
That's when you got it.
Yeah. Just having a silly goose time.
Right, and that's why half the times when I name these products, it's always something just to.
There is some
Also,
good names.
You got the naming
hooker straps.
Yeah, so not only are the products inventive and creative, but the names also have a life of their own too. What's that process like?
It's another thing. It just kind of happens,
Yeah.
Like with the hooker straps for sure. It's like that was one of it usually just pops right in my head. And usually, obviously, it's some kind of reference sexually, or some kind of joke, or some type of joke that everybody says, but just kind of everybody always laughs about it, no matter how corny it is, and but they also remember that.
Yep.
And that's part of the process too. Is I always like to make stuff that people remember, and if they find a good product and they get a good laugh out at the same time, what's wrong with all of that, right?
Yep.
And after all, don't take shit so seriously.
Amen.
I mean, I don't want to sell products and not have any fun doing it. And obviously, when you're lifting, there's always that shit talking. If you're not shit talking while you're lifting, then you're not having any fun with something. So, right? And there's a lot of shit talking.
Yep.
And there's a lot of places where that shit talking goes, and you're like, how did it end up over here? Everybody's chipping in, but yeah, I mean, I like the name process, and typically I don't really think about it too much. It just kind of pops right in my head, and it's usually something absurd. And once I say it out loud, and I look for the expressions on people's faces, I know when I got it.
Yeah.
So it's like the handy straps. We're gonna shoot a video for that. And that's pretty easy when they're.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're already there, right?
Yeah.
See, that was easy.
Yeah.
Speaks for
Nice
itself.
old-fashioned handy.
There you go. Now you're winning.
Good old-fashioned.
Good old fashioned, please. And I don't mean the drink.
That's right.
Right.
Well, Spud, that was awesome. We're glad we got to get you on here finally and talk to you about some stuff, and probably most importantly, get your take on potato chips.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to, you did catch me off guard a little bit on that.
That's always the goal.
What was that the purpose?
Yeah. Yep.
So dill pickle, no.
How about barbecue?
No.
That's another.
I like
popular.
jalapeno. Jalapeno is also a go-to.
That's okay, but usually that's Doritos. Jalapeno Doritos.
Oh,
Doritos are a whole nother ball.
Yeah,
game, too.
yeah, that's-
Yeah, but what I'm talking about. You start drinking and late at night, no actions happen, so you're getting $3-4. Well, let's show my age here, but you stop at the convenience store and get $3-4 hot dogs, and then you get a bag full of jalapeno nachos, and eat until your lips are burning on fire, and the roof of your mouth is like, You know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
I've never got this 3 hot dogs for $1.
I
thing
don't.
before. That sounds
I've
like
never
a
seen
steal.
that deal, but
Yeah.
Oh, that was the shit. You know, like you walk into like a QT or something, you see all those hot dogs and sausage dogs and all that shit rolling. Well, you'd have when you walked in like the 7-Eleven or whatever store you're walking into, they have like the little tiny machine. And, you know, those hot dogs have been there all day
The
long.
little rotisserie hot dog thing.
Right.
Yeah.
But when you've been out partying,
Oh, you couldn't care less.
They're like, oh, that sounds really good. Let me get that.
I don't know
And
if
of course, you know.
Yeah. I don't know if anyone's
it's
ever
worse than
been
Taco Bell though.
Oh yeah.
on
The repayment
outside.
terms next day are worse than Taco Bell.
I don't know if anyone's
There's
ever
some
been
serious repayment
hungrier though than when you're really drunk and haven't eaten for quite a while. Like that's the
like
hungriest
once
you
2
could
o'clock
possibly
hits,
be.
yeah, it is.
You're
You
like,
can't.
oh my god, I'm so hungry.
Yeah, you can't get any hungrier.
You just got shot down in flames by every girl in the fucking bar. You're like, all of a sudden, I'm really hungry. Yes, let's go into the convenience store and then buy like 10 hot dogs and go home and just chow out and
See,
wake up and go.
The trick around here for a while for us was, you know, it gets so cold in the wintertime. There's a gas station on the way home. You can get the hot dogs, put them in the sleeves of your jacket to keep you warm while you're walking. Then when you get home, not only were you warmer, but you also have hot dogs to eat too. It's kind of a win-win.
Well, I thought you were going to put them someplace else. That sounds like where
That's keep warm.
You can put them anywhere you want.
keep me warm.
Yeah, I'm not going to stop anyone from doing anything. So,
hey, whatever floats your boat, man. Just make sure you take care of those hot dogs.
Okay. No, we do appreciate getting you on, Spud. This is good stuff.
Yeah, great. Thank you for having me, man. Had a lot of fun.
We keep reading our Spud Inc. every week here, and hopefully send some people your way.
Well, I appreciate it, man. You guys have a bunch of unique shirts and clothing line, and you guys give me a laugh too with all the things you come up with, you know, because hell, half of the damn things like the Bush Beer, Miller Lite, and all that shit. You know, those are all the things I grew up drinking. You know,
Yep.
Because that's all you had the money for, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Right. So, but you guys keep doing great things you're doing as well. And we're gonna shoot some videos probably in a couple of weeks. So we'll start putting those back out, and we'll see what happens.
Awesome. We'll be on the lookout for it.
All right, fellas. Thank you very much.
All right.
Thanks, Bud.
Have a great day.
Yeah. See ya.
See ya.
Cool beans.
Cool beans.
Two cool Spud beans.
2 extra crispy Spud beans served up cold.
Not like a gas station hot dog.
Nothing like a warm gas station hot dog. So we finally got the Spud Inc. story.
Yeah. Yep.
Learned a lot there.
Yellow, I guess, because that's what it was.
Yellow or orange. I think yellow was the right
What a
choice.
different
there.
world we would have been in if
Orange and black.
Yeah.
They're the Halloween company year round. No, yellow and black.
Yeah,
They made the right move.
I think so. But maybe if they had gone orange and black,
We'd say yellow. That's not a
who would have
good
picked
color.
that?
Yeah, of course
right.
it's orange and black.
Yeah,
Well, I'm still gonna say they made the right choice.
yeah. Not a fan of Coldplay though.
Apparently not. Apparently not.
What do you think of Coldplay?
They're clearly talented.
It doesn't.
There's
float
so
your
few
boat.
songs of theirs that ever really did anything for me.
Yeah.
I mean, I can see why people like them. I can see why. They're not like.
Not your particular.
I think
cup of tea.
maybe even Spotify. I could have swore they had something new come out recently, and
Okay.
I didn't click on it. You know, I didn't need to hear it.
No, it wouldn't be my go-to music.
Yeah. So, Tanner, I think we should read a little Spud Inc. ad here.
Okay.
Quick.
All right. Let's do it.
This ad was inspired by our conversation.
All right.
This episode is brought to you by Spud Inc. and the sweater vest / belt squat vest.
Oh.
The sweater vest is a long-time idea that Spud has been wanting to perfect. Spud Inc. was the first innovator of the belt squat belt in the early 2000s, making one that was comfortable and long-lasting. The belt squat became a mainstay in many training regimens over the next 2 decades and became the gold standard of belt squat belts. But with time always moving ahead, they pioneered the front squat harness to simulate the exercise for the belt squat machines. The front squat harness taxes the entire abdominals and pretty much the entire front side of the body, along with the normal leg development. Boy, should really not lose my spot when I'm reading, huh?
Easier said than done.
One of the biggest issues with the belt squat is the digging in on the hips and legs. Spud enjoyed both aspects of the regular belt squat and the qualities of the front squat harness and thought, why not make one that is 75% belt squat and 25% front squat? I kind of like to think of it's like, front squat in the front, belt squat in the back, for the party.
Sounds like a mullet.
To get both concepts and teach maintaining abdominal pressure in a more consistent way. Additionally, the sweater vest has multiple adjustable loops on the belt squat section and on the vest portion. It has a button push adjustment on each side to dial in varying athlete sizes and heights. Included is a Velcro strap and some other great stuff. But comes in small and large sizes. Check it out at spud-inc-straps.com. Amazing.
Okay, so I talked about it before we got Spud on. The also, would you have guessed that Spud Web is where
No,
that came from?
not
in a million.
No. Like, I feel like we had Spud Web on there because we thought, well, there's clearly no relation here other than the name Spud is shared, but that wouldn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Boy, were we wrong.
Boy, were we wrong. We really ate crow on that one.
Yes, we did.
Put our foot in our mouth, didn't we? Okay, I wanted to talk about a podcast review.
Oh.
Actually, first, let me read a few podcasts. Well, I'm going to read a few podcast reviews.
Okay, this is review time.
Yeah. This is an interesting review segment, though. First one, Sparkling Nonsense, 5 out of 5 stars from J.K. Powers. If you would love the smooth voices and knockoff humor of the hypothetical offspring of Seth MacFarlane and Archer, this is absolutely the podcast for you. J.K. Powers. So we're the hypothetical offspring of Seth MacFarlane and Archer.
I'm curious how they got to that.
I don't know. That is interesting.
There's much worse offspring that
right,
they could
yeah.
categorize this.
I'll take that. Been called a lot worse. Okay. Next one. 5 out of 5 stars again here. An excellent podcast. 2. The title is an excellent podcast 2, and then the description is listen to at 1.25 times speed.
All right.
Yeah, so a funny thing they did there. An excellent podcast 2, listen to at 1.25 times speed.
That's good.
That's from D 2099. Is that Big D possibly? Could
Maybe.
be.
Getting creative
Yes.
with the title.
Next one is from ECM 7397. Something about a hat box. I'd go so far to say it's one of the top 4 podcasts from Western Northeast South Dakota. This next one here is also 5 stars. It's titled Beer, best lifting podcast this side of the Lake Deer. Do you know what a Lake Deer is?
I do not.
Okay.
I was hoping you would.
When they crack sparkling water, we crack beer. Slainte. Is that like salute?
Oh, I don't know.
Is that,
I've definitely seen that word before.
I don't know how to pronounce that. SLAINTE.
Means health in Irish.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay. And that's from the fellows at Big Maths. Okay. So those were our keyed up reviews that I had. One more interesting review here, though. This is a special review edition.
Special review.
We have the first ever written review that was not a 5-star.
The nerve of some people.
They hit us with the 3 stars.
It was 3, actually, huh?
3 stars.
I thought it was 4.
Nope, 3 stars.
3 stars?
This is from October 13th. Name is Danny Grizzly. Let me repeat that. Danny Grizzly. DANNY GRIZZLY. I'm going to look some up on Instagram quick. Okay, found. I think it might be Danny the Grizzly. Danny D-Lock. would maybe be his name. I don't know if this is the person. Could be Danny the Grizzly, Mr. giving us not a 5-star review.
3 stars.
His title is Timestamp. 3 out of 5 stars. Wish y'all would give timestamps to skip the beginning and go straight to the interview. Kinda boring.
Wow.
Go straight to the interview, comma. Kinda boring.
Well, the thing is, if you listen to one episode, you kind of pick up on the fact that the interview starts at like 30 minutes every single time, within a minute or so. That's like one of the only things we do consistently.
It's funny, like, to me, wish y'all would give timestamps, plural, to skip to the beginning and go straight. It's almost like this guy has listened to multiple episodes, if not like continues to listen
and
to.
hasn't picked up on that.
Yeah, and it's like, and he's like, all that talking is kind of boring. Just like tell me the timestamp. I'm like, why would you even listen to our podcast if you like? Why would you like? You could come for one. You saw a guest, but you're like, oh, that's kind of boring. Why is he continuing to listen? Because it's obviously like that.
Well, and that's like, and also like, if I think someone's boring, I don't want to listen to them talk to really anyone, no matter how
true.
Like if there's someone I find interesting, but I see on YouTube or a podcast they're having an interview with someone that I don't really care about, I usually don't even bother to listen to it. Right. It's like, well, how many different things does that person really talk about? And then I got to hear the other person be a part of it too. But maybe we're not that. Well, we're only 3-star boring. We're not 0-star boring. You know.
Yeah, we still get. We did get 3 stars, which is also interesting. But it's just kind of like, kind of boring.
It is really. It is funny that it goes back to the thing of, I get when someone hates something, leaving a 0-star review, especially podcasts, because leaving a review is not easy to do. And leaving a 5-star review, I get, because like you liked it a lot. But like you felt compelled enough to leave a 3-star review is still funny to think about for and obviously there's millions of people that leave 3-star reviews all the time. It's just funny to think that those people actually do exist.
It is. I think it's like an important
milestone,
a threshold thing, kind of, that we've reaching enough people
that we're getting people that just don't get Massenomics at all. Like,
right. That they're like,
doesn't interest them. They don't care about it.
And like, but yet, that's the paradox, that they're still like listening enough, that like enough episodes that like, I got to leave a review on that.
Mm-hmm.
And I would also note, no timestamps. That's a strict policy around here. No timestamps.
Until the day we start leaving timestamps.
We will never, ever leave timestamps.
Mark my words.
This is setting up for a future meme when we
there will never, ever be timestamps.
But whenever
on
someone in YouTube says, hey, timestamp, or they'll, a lot of times people will do like 32 minutes and 6 seconds, like indicating when Chris Duffin interview started or whatever it was. And my response is always in all caps, no timestamps. So that's
just put a kibosh to that.
That's a stiff policy.
Let's get out in front of this one, right?
As I always say, no timestamps. But it's really weird if you're listening to, like, it's what you were just describing. Like, would I see a podcast guest? Is there a guest I would see on a podcast that I don't like, that I'm like, yes, I have to listen to that, but I'm just gonna give me, like, I don't want to listen to those other people talk.
Yeah,
I don't like
if you're
them.
just a mega fan of that person, like I don't really fan out that hard for anyone in the world. Yeah. So like I guess I don't have to have that problem.
Right.
But
right. Yeah, so I guess it's possible.
Anything's possible, right?
Anything's possible, Kevin Garnett. So yeah, 3 out of 5 stars from Danny Grizzly. And on Instagram, I think it's Danny.thegrizzly.
Hypothetically speaking.
Yeah. If I could just, from doing a little research there, Danny Grizzly. Danny Grizzly. This episode is also brought to you by Fusion Sports Performance Supplements. Do you know what's in your supplements? If you use Fusion Sports Performance, you always will. Fusion SP prides itself on being fully transparent, never using proprietary blends, and always providing its customers with top quality products. Thinking of Fusion SP, there's been some funny sponsor memes.
There's been
out of the meme
a lot
contest.
Of really good sponsor memes.
One good one for Fusion SP was it was like a scientist in a lab, and he goes, "We did it! We finally cracked the code!" And it was a Fusion SP product, and it was like vanilla of some sort. Yeah,
that was I like that one.
I did like that. So you can get their Fusion Whey protein isolate. It not only tastes great, it has 27 grams of protein per scoop. Zero fat, low or no carbs depending on the flavor. It doesn't contain any soy or gluten, and it won't cause any stomach discomfort. Available now in vanilla of some sort to go along with the chocolate of some sort, and frosted cinnamon roll of some sort. They also have Healing Factor post-workout, and then 2 pre-workout options, Super Soldier pre-workout and Mad Titan High Stim pre-workout. Most orders that they have are shipped within 1 business day. That's pretty fast. And every Fusion Sports Performance product comes fully backed with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Go to fusionsp.net and use code MASS, M-A-S-S, to save a massive 20% on your order. And as the meme contest has let us know, just whenever you check out anywhere, you try and just use discount code MASS.
Always.
Like, will this save me 20%
Whenever
off?
in doubt, yeah.
Like at the grocery store, like, yes, I'd like to apply discount code MASS to this.
I'm trying to type it in on the credit card reader and it's not working.
Excuse me, sir. This is a grocery store.
And no matter where you check out, you also say that Massenomics sent you. So yeah,
I tried that at the DMV. I was like, yes, and I'd also like to use discount code MASS to save 20% on my
how
order.
did you know that? Worked here for 30 years and no one's
Instead
pulled
of
that one.
I was wondering, do you guys have a military or senior discount? It's like, I was wondering, do you guys have a mass discount, 20% off all
Is there
orders?
a Massenomics? I don't see it posted, but I'm pretty sure you have one.
Like at the Pizza Ranch, like, yeah, seniors eat for $6.99 per meal, and anyone that uses discount code MASS also saves 20% on their order.
Yep. They just have to put a keyboard at their checkout so everyone can use that thing. Type in the password.
Discount code MASS. Everywhere. Everywhere things are sold. Discount code MASS.
I think that's what Visa was going for. Or maybe it's MasterCard or American Express. Probably all 3 of them are trying to pull that.
Maybe it's Bitcoin.
That could be it too.
Do we have anything else burning this week that we needed to get to, or is that
burning
pretty much
God, that's probably everything. Should we look at the old rundown one more time quick? Make sure we didn't miss anything.
Yeah.
Boom, 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 boom. I think we probably got it all.
Yeah, I think so too. That was a really good episode. I would even go so far as to say it was excellent.
Excellent. I would maybe go as far to say it was cool beans.
It was cool beans, yeah. But I was saying it was
excellent. Excellent. Yeah. Okay, I see. Excellent.
Shwing. Tommy, where do they find you?
You can find me at Tomahawk_D.
You can follow me at Tanner_Baird. Just make sure to follow Massenomics at Massenomics, and don't buy our hats.
We're not worthy.